Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the CEO and owner of Kismet Ventures, Inc. And I am in the process of finding people who are instilling value in other people's lives. Today, my guest is Ihor Reveha from Ukraine. Hi, Ihor.
Hello, Munira.
Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Munira, you know what? It's my pleasure to meet you, and I'm really very happy to talk with you. This is my first time I'm doing something like this,
and please don't be nervous. This is about you, for you. So, like I ask all my interviewees, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I live in Ukraine. It's Western Ukraine, city of Ternopil. I live here with my wife and two kids. One of my kids, her name is Edna. She is 6, and my older son, he is 11.
Okay.
And you know what? Actually, everything I did in my life from the beginning, I was doing like for my kids. I send them to private. Why I'm starting from this, you will hear and you will see how it's related and how it's connected. How I start to do and how I started to learn about leadership, about adding value, because I never heard something like this before. All of this I learned from John Maxwell.
Okay.
And when my son, he was 3 years old, I decided to send him to a private school to learn English. So as he was learning English, I learned about this business, I decided, I think, first of all, I started to add value to my children. And I also decided to open my private school. It's English private school. I was thinking it will be good if I have private school and I gonna have my children will study there.
Okay.
So I decided and I opened first private school. After that, I decided to open 4 more private schools in 4 different cities. And all of them doing well. So so I started from my children. After that, I was thinking, how can I add value to my children? How can I add value to myself, to my wife, to my family? And I was looking, where can I learn something about the personal growth? I started to think about how can I reach my potential, but I couldn't find I couldn't find the answer. I went to different places, like religion, churches, and I couldn't get a lot of answers.
Okay.
I had many questions, and nobody can answer this. One time, I went to one of the seminars, and I heard about John Maxwell. I heard one citation, and it was. For me, it was very interesting what he said. I don't know, probably he said something like that, that everything rises and falls on leadership.
True.
And I start to look, who is that guy, that John Maxwell? I was looking everywhere and I found that there's a couple books in Ukrainian language, here in also many in Russian language, because we speak Russian also. And I figure out that I bought one of the book. I went on the internet, I bought one of the book, and I started to reading this book. I read this book. It was first book. It was 21 Irrefutable Law of Leadership.
Yes.
So after I read this book, I decided to learn this book like chapter by chapter, and I started to reading again and again, and I told to myself that I should like memorize all this book because it's so good. After that, I start to buy more books of John Maxwell and reading about law of leadership. After that, 15 laws of growth, and it was very interesting. I was starting to take some notes, write, and start to learn about how to grow myself. I start to add value to my life, to my kids, because I was talking about everything that I was reading.
Okay.
I was searching more internet, and I found that there is University Online, John Maxwell University Online, and I wrote email. I don't remember exactly how it was, but also I used Skype, and they wrote me that I can actually register and can grow up myself, and I read that I can be as a coach, speaker, training, and for me this was like a very strange. I didn't want to be a coach or trainer or speaker. I just wanted to receive some answers for my questions that I had. And actually, I read more. I was about John Maxwell, and one of those days I decided to register to learn on this in this university online, John Maxwell University Online. And but I didn't have money. I didn't have enough money. It was a lot of money for me. It was $5,000. For Ukraine, it's, I don't know, it's
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and actually I didn't have all of that money. So I paid some, and during the year I paid each time, like each month, a little bit. So at the end, I paid everything. So I was online. I was listening calls from John Maxwell. I was learning. It was not very often. I didn't want to be speaker or coach or trainer. I didn't want anything. I just wanted to learn for myself and for my kids, for my wife. So it was like that in the beginning. But as I was learning, my wife told, you should tell these people, you should speak about growth, about the law of leadership. A little bit later, I learned from Paul Martinelli about 7 universal laws. And once I heard from John Maxwell, he told that as you know so much, it can be blessing for you, or it can be cursing for you. So I decided to tell people what I'm learning, and also I heard that if I learn every day, if I spend 1 hour every day, so on any subject, in 5 years I can become professional.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I can become something like experts, right? Yes. So I start to spend every day 1 hour. I didn't go to sleep till I learned something new every day. Yeah, sometimes I didn't read a lot. It could be like 1 chapter, or it could be 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs. But I was learning each day, and after some time, I couldn't, as John Maxwell said, I couldn't recognize myself. And you know what? Right now, even my wife, my kids, they don't believe something can, this kind of transformation can happen, could happen to me. And this is how I start my journey.
But that's so awesome, right? Because what started as questions has now opened doors for you, right? So have you started training and mentoring and coaching and speaking?
Yeah, right now I start I'm doing trainings, right? This week I'm doing 2 trainings. I never wanted to be a speaker. Right now I want to be speaker a lot. I'm doing this in Ukrainian language, also in English language. I have some students that they are coming from different countries, they're international students, and we were studying like for 2 months, 2.5 months, we were studying 15 laws of growth. And also I start club, club to reach a communication potential.
That's
And tomorrow we're gonna talk about power of stories. So it's gonna be tomorrow on July 10. I'm doing seminar about laws of growth, and you know what? People coming, and I see how people are changing, and it gives me so much energy. I want to learn more. And I want to tell people, you know what? In Ukraine here, when I started to learn, you know what? Nobody talks about such thing as integrity. When I say to people integrity, they like never heard about this word. Many people, I think a lot of people, they don't know what this word means. Integrity. Even I went to schools and I was talking to teachers and I told them integrity, and they thought, what does it mean? What is this integrity? And there is, you know what, we need this leadership, coaching, trainings. Also, I started to do School of Models. They also invited me to talk to them about leadership. There's in our city, city of Ternopil, there's School of Models. Also, photographers, they invited me. There was like more than 100 photographers. They were together, so they also invited me to talk about leadership. And I didn't understand before that leadership, influence, and it's first of all when you influence yourselves, when we influence ourselves. And you know what? Nobody talks something like this. Before we start to talk here, I was listening about you. You were talking about adding value to people.
yes. That's what I do, because I find that there are so many people out there who are doing things like you are doing, right? Transforming other people's lives in a good way. Doesn't have to be me, just doesn't have to be by coaching, but by just touching somebody's lives. And that makes me very happy because I see other people benefiting, and I see people like you who just started out with questions and didn't think about building a business, but now are adding and changing people's lives and creating good people, right? Value.
Yeah.
What people are going to do is are going to go out there and change the world in their own way. And that's what we need. And people like you don't take accolades or don't go out and say, you know, this is what I did for this person. So I find those people very rare, and I think that we should acknowledge them. So I find people like you, and then I do interviews with them, and I say, how are you adding people? How are you adding value to people? Can you tell me so I can drop them to the world?
Yeah, I was learning. When I first heard how we add value to people, and I was thinking, so what does it mean? How to add value to people? and how to add value to people like intentionally. I bought from John Maxwell this priority planner, and it's like just amazing. There's 3 lines for 3 people. Like I could add value to more people than 3.
Yeah.
But I started to think to who I gonna add value today. And I heard sometimes you just can make coffee for somebody, so you add value. Also, I'm talking on the phone, and I'm speaking with people. I also think what I gonna tell them that gonna add value to them. I start to think about this. Everything is like starts from thinking. And I never heard about something like that. Right now, I go to eat with my wife and my kids. I try to be intentional. I think before we go, what we are gonna talk about, how I gonna add value to them, what we gonna learn today, what we gonna learn together today. And you know what? Actually, even today, my daughter, she is 6. Her name is Edna, and when I wanted to give her this name because I know that it's pleasure. Like this word is in pleasure. You know what she asked me today? She asked me, "Father, can you teach me to be good leader?" I told her, "Yeah, of course, if you want it."
So tell me about your schools. Do you still have your schools, and who's running them?
Yeah, I have 4 private schools in different cities, and we teach children from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, 4 to 5. It's in city of Chertkiv. They learn English. Also, they learn like about it's like early childhood education.
Yes.
Also, we teach them mental arithmetic, fast reading, and memory, we call like that. And right now, I prepare, I teach, you know what, I don't want to say that I teach. I just share knowledge that I have with teachers that we work together. And I talk to them about leadership. I talk to them about adding value. So they start to think how they can add value to children. Even we teach mental arithmetic, so they talk about 5-10 minutes about leadership, about adding value, about how can they grow, about intentionality, about awareness. They first we learn together with teachers, and after that they teach children about that. And you know what? Right now, when parents they are waiting for their kids, after they finish, parents ask them, "What did teacher teach you today about leadership?"
Oh, that's nice.
You know what? It's like 5-10 minutes, but each day they tell them about. And you know what? About adding value, I also learned that we add value when we value what people value. I learned also this, and you know what? It's like become my passion. I really like to do this, and you know what? Sometimes I don't know if sometimes I even don't charge money. I even don't charge money. I'm just looking how can I add value. Some people say that you destroy people's integrity when you don't charge them, but you know what? It's for me. It's like beginning. But you know what? I have big dream. I want to do this transformation of Ukraine. It's my big dream. And right now, our team, it becomes bigger. I see how people, even Natalia, you didn't see her, but if you want it, next time you can make interview with her.
Okay.
She is like, about 3 months probably. 3 months that she works with me, and she starts to learn, and I see how he changes. Each day she improves and she like become better. When she come, because I needed people to work with me, I need to do some translation from English, and I need to prepare PowerPoints, because each time we prepare PowerPoints for people. And she is very creative. When I saw she is writing with left hand, so I saw that she is very creative. And you know what? And I see how she changed. Also with us, there is one lady, she's actress. And she came, actually I wanted to learn from her how to be a good speaker, something like that, because in our city we don't have people that can teach you to be a speaker. So I wanted to learn something from her. And after she heard about different laws, about she liked this, and she also told me that I was teaching you how to speak, but I received many answers for many of my questions, and my life improved. And you know what? She also is a speaker. She right now, she didn't learn a lot, but each time she learned something, she learned about self-image, the law of the mirror, right? So you must see value in yourself to add value to yourself. Yeah. So when she read about this law, and she thought, oh my God, this is huge. This is so important. And she prepared speech, and she was speaking like for 1 hour, and there was many students. And each time, so our community, it becomes bigger, and I see how people improve, how people change, and it's important for me. So I just love.
People do you have in your team?
Yeah. I didn't think that I gonna have team like that. I never was thinking about so. I never was thinking about that I'm gonna be some kind of speaker, because before I couldn't speak. You know, when people sit and eat, it's birthday or something, I was sitting and I didn't say even a word, because I was like, I don't know what. Right now I can speak, so it's amazing, and I see how I improve, and I understand how important to improve, and I become bigger inside. And I see when you work on yourself, right? Do I say it correctly? And how people see that. People see, and everything is changes. Because when first time I heard, you don't see people as they are. You don't see people as they are. You see people as you are. I also heard this first time. I started to think, oh my God, how can it be? And I see when I was upset or something, so I see people differently. I see also things differently, and like that.
It is so amazing that what started out as questions has turned into a business and has become a transformation for you and for your family and your people that are coming to you. And that's what I like to hear, because this is the thing that I'm learning about you, and the fact that you're changing lives. And one day, if your dream comes true, and one day it will, because you want to change all of Ukraine, right?
Sure, I start from myself, from my family, from our schools, our children that study in our schools, and I believe we're gonna have a big team. I believe, but everything rises and falls on leadership, and first of all on my personal leadership. And I know this how I need to work a lot, and I see how I improve and how I grow, and I see that team that's right now, because it's like it's just beginning. You know what? It's like beginning, and I believe that we're gonna do transformation in our countries, because we really need it. We need a lot. I think first of all, we should start at least to talk about integrity, because people now, they don't know what this means, integrity, you know what. And when I was thinking about integrity, I start to learn about my values. I didn't think about values. I started to think, what are my values? I took a piece of paper and I start to write all values. I was thinking about God. I was thinking about family, health, and I had the list of values. I never thought about values. And I was thinking...
You never, because you know what? This subject has never come up before. We live our lives and we become as older people and, you know, grown adults. We never thought of adding value to people. And if we did that, we always thought, oh, we have to go listen to a talk, right, somewhere. But it starts from us, because we have to, like you said, the law of the mirror, you cannot add value to others unless you see what you have yourself. You have to write a list, like you said, and take stock of everything that you have to do and make sure that these are the things that you value, and then find people out there who value things to start with.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? When I was learning about integrity, this is my discovery. I also didn't hear about integrity, this word, you know. I heard integrity, but I didn't understand what this means. And when I was thinking about integrity, I read some and I wrote for myself. That is like everything like united in harmony, like my values, my thinking, my feelings. Everything like together, value, thinking, feelings, and I started to think what I feel about this, what I think, what are my values, and you know what, people ask me. I went to school and they asked me, what is this? What is integrity? What is this about? And I told them one story. It was story. I will tell you this story. It was like a little bit funny on the beginning. I was looking for a girl that can be a translator in for our school, from English to Ukrainian. And one girl, she came, and we started to talk, and I asked about her temperaments, right? Like choleric, melancholic. And I asked her, who is she? I didn't say like, are you choleric, melancholic? But I asked, what is your temperament? And she told me, I'm a fish. She was talking about different things. She didn't know about that. So it was like, for me, I started like to laugh a little bit, like inside, inside. I didn't laugh outside, but it was like funny for me. And after I came to our teachers, and I was like laughing, and she told me, and teachers asked me, why are you laughing? Is that the girl that you wanted to hire? I told no. I asked her about temperaments, and she told me that she is like fish. And everybody started to laugh around. And one girl, she worked with us. She was young, and she was 19 years old, and she was editor. She worked in our school as editor, and she told Igor, "What do you think? I'm just trying to translate from Ukrainian right now," and she thought, "I think that we." How can I say, ruin integrity right now. What do you think? I think that this is we very badly. How can I say it in English? What is the better?
You murdered in the integrity. Is that it?
Yeah, because she told we wouldn't talk about this lady in front of her, and we wouldn't laugh about, but because she already went home and she is not here, so we sit her and we laugh at her because she made like this mistake. She didn't know about temperaments,
yes.
and she mixed up a little bit. And you know what? It's even right now in my head, like stick. Sometimes I talk to people or I'm doing something and I think, Ihor, what are you doing with your integrity right now?
Yes, true.
So
now you are aware of the integrity, and you're always you check yourself, right? You don't want to make the same mistake.
Yeah. I'm thinking about right now. I start to think about integrity, but you know what about awareness? I never heard this word. We don't use this word a lot, awareness. I went to Romania. There's came John Maxwell team to Romania. Paul Martinelli was there, and we were sitting and eating with this Romanian people. And one guy, he asked me, how is in Ukraine? How is there? Is there corruption or not? So I told him, how about Romania? He told, yeah, we have a lot of here. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of... And he asked me, what do you think? What is the problem that your country is like so corrupted? Well, it's not funny at all. He asked me like that. So I started to think at that time. And I was thinking, this is all about, it's a lot about awareness.
It is.
People, it's awareness. It's awareness. A lot about awareness. And I told him, I think it's awareness. And he told, you know what? I think in Romania is the same. So I think we need to raise this awareness about adding value, about leadership, about, there's a lot of things. It's not just one thing about leadership.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you, Ihor. You are adding value to a lot of people by just growing yourself and instilling that knowledge in other people around you. People, your children, your wife, your family members, your team members, your school, your children in the school. And that's going to start a movement. You know, it's not going to change people's integrity or value or awareness right there in one day, but you have already started the momentum. And we will change it one day at a time.
I believe this.
Yeah, as you grow, people around you will grow and make
everybody grows. As
yes.
I grow, all people around me, they also grow. Everybody who is around me, they grow and they getting better. Yeah.
You have a 6-year-old daughter who's already asking to be a leader, you know, trying to be a leader. You never know, you never know. So that's what it is. As coaches and as, you know, certified coaches, as we instill values in people, you don't have to be a coach. You can just start reading a book and start growing. But that first step is going to transform you. I thank you so much, Ihor. I thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being on my show. And I appreciate what you're doing. And maybe I will come to Ukraine and help you on this task. Who knows?
Sure. I believe that in one day, I will invite many coaches to come here. Right now we just creating this. Right now is not big, but I believe we will grow and grow and grow, and more people gonna join us, and it gives me so much satisfaction. You know what? As we finish, what I learned from my life, what I'm gonna say right now. We just think together about this. Everything what we do in our life, we do this for our satisfaction, I believe. We want to satisfy our needs. We want to satisfy our spiritual needs. We want to satisfy our needs of adding value, psychological needs, emotional needs. So, and I start to believe, I start to think about that. And when John Maxwell, he said that intentional life, it's life that gives you reward, that gives you satisfaction, and this is because you are making positive changes in people's lives. And you know what? This gives me a lot. It gives me tremendous satisfaction. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you. You add value to me right now, because I start to think, and I'm very thankful you are doing this.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very humbled. But you know what? Maybe you need to start your own Facebook Lives. Who knows? So we will talk. But thank you for being on my show. And I will send you a link for those people who are watching. Please subscribe to my channel. It is called Munira's Musings. And I'm on YouTube, and we'll send a link on LinkedIn as well as Facebook Live. Thank you very much. Over and out.
Thank you.